Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23. It is now time for round 17 of our MotoGP career mode, and it is time for the Chang International Circuit of Thailand. Ladies and gentlemen, let's crack on. So here we go then, preparing for the sprint race. We will be starting from the back of the grid to make things interesting. I'll also only be using power setting 1 here against 120% difficulty AI. So up in the inside, making a good, 7 positions already as we go find even more positions into the right hand of a turn 1 as an Air Bastianini got a small love tap from his teammate into turn 1. Marvellous stuff so far, but I do foresee this one being a rather interesting one. Of course, we only using power setting 1 as Marco Bezzecchi gets a bit of a hit into the rear tail unit. Apologies to Marco Bezzecchi, I'm sure I keep making contact with the Italian. But yeah, look at the speed on the straight. With us using power setting 1, we're going to be catching them all up on the brakes rather than using the superior speed of the GP23 Ducati as we now try and scythe up a lunge, not up on the inside, but round the outside of our future teammate, Fabio Quartararo. Beautifully done in the early stages of today's MotoGP sprint here in Thailand. Now, as we go on to the power here, we're already up into the top 6, and this is where the AI tend to struggle. They make a lot of silly mistakes there going into the right hand of turn 8, and then the same can be said for turn 9, and that's Jack Miller down. That's Jack Miller's championship coming to an end already, isn't it? I know he wasn't going to win the championship, but he was fighting for the top couple of positions, as you've probably seen at the beginning of this video right there at the start. But what a start for us. Impeccable, to say the least. We're already 1.3 seconds behind Maverick after starting back of the grid on the lowest power option. And there is Pol Espargaro again. He is still fighting for decent positions. Don't know what he's done or how he's mastered the KTM so wonderfully well this season, but he's done a miraculous job on board the Tech 3 gas. And I know what you're thinking, is that Pedro Acosta in disguise? Could very well be. But anyway, we have a fight on our hands. Maybe not a fight yet, but I don't doubt that when we catch up to Maverick, he's going to give as good as he's got. He's been pretty much sensational to start this circuit of Chang International Circuit right now. He's done really well. And as we go into the left-hander, the gap is disappearing ever so slightly, but not as quick as I thought it would have done. I thought we would have caught him up rather quickly as we just touched the apex for turn 7. Got to be careful when doing that because it's very easy to lose the front there. But now into the right-hander for turn 8, Maverick is beginning to make mistakes. We go for a wonderful tight apex there for turn 9, and that brings us to within half a second as Pol Espargaro has gone down. I must have jinxed him. Apologies to Pol, but here comes... Do we go for the lunge? Yeah, I'm going for the lunge. Why not let it fly? Hashtag full send in the comment section down below. Straight over the inside of Maverick Vinales from a mile back. How about that? As Maverick now... Oh, he didn't like that at all as he brake checks me going into turn 1. Oh my god, I know in the past Maverick has a bit of a hot head and a little bit of a bad temperament, but bloody hell, I wasn't expecting him to stare at me and then hit the brakes. I mean, Maverick has mellowed a lot nowadays, but clearly in our computer game he didn't quite appreciate the long lunge into the final corner. So I guess it's game on then, guys and girls. There's Maverick using the ride height device. I'm going to opt to not use it and try to go the long way around into turn 7, not able to do so. A bit of contact. Whoa, the RSGP looking squirrely on the brakes there. As we dive into the left-hander now. Is this it? Have we done enough? Is Maverick still looking behind him? Is he checking out to see who else is there? I don't know, but is he going to go for the lunge there into the right-hander? Whoa, that would have been a brave man to make that move. I mean, no remorse with their artificial intelligence. And I think they have no remorse for me either, or the players, no matter if it's me or you. They just tend to be really, really aggressive. Or into the right-hander then, out of turn 9 and into turn 10. The gap has crept up to 8 tenths. Oh, I'm off the circuit. Steady. It has crept up to 7 tenths of a second. Can Maverick respond? They're slow into turn 12, but they will regain time on these short burst of straights. It was a much slower lap time for us there. Really struggled on that one, didn't we? Not hooking it up well. But I guess with the fight with Maverick did sort of impede our progress for a decent lap time there. But to be honest, I'm not really looking for good lap times. I'm just looking at demoralising the opponents, diminishing any bit of chance of motivation and momentum they want or can find to try and defeat us. We're on an absolute masterclass once again. Half a second clear from Maverick on lap 4 of 7 in today's MotoGP sprint. There is the championship standings in your right hand side of your screen there. Just as I mentioned, Jack Miller's crash has cost him points. He's now losing the battle to Marquez and Enea Bastianini for that elusive second place. Of course, first place is now damn near impossible. In fact, no, it isn't damn near impossible. It is damn impossible. Of course, winning the championship in Mandalika just a couple of rounds to go without too much of a problem. Of course, if you did watch that video, I did end up binning it, but we still ended up winning quite successfully. Not the race, but the World Championship in Mandalika. So now out of turn 11 underneath the Petronas sign. Every time I see that Petronas, I do miss the Petronas Yamaha, and being reminiscing there, it's not a great time to do it, is it? Because we've gone wide and now we're off the circuit. I'm going to make sure we don't regain any sort of advantage there so we don't get a penalty. And in fact, by doing that, the gaps come down to 0.2 of a second. So it's game on again then, is it? Well, not quite. We pulled out a lot of time there into turn 1. That's an absolute masterclass to pull away from Maverick Vinales. Look at the 3 M's there into the top 3. Myself, Matt Grant, and Maverick Vinales, and Miguel Oliveira. The 3 M's at the top of the podium positions here in the Chang International Circuit Sprint. But now, can we do what I mentioned earlier and break the resolve of Maverick Vinales? I do wonder if the AI didn't struggle so much into turn 8, turn 9, what would happen? What would happen in this race? You know, turn 5, they're not very good where we usually go around the outside and the brakes. Turn 7 here, this is where they begin to start to struggle. If they didn't make such a bad mistake here, I wonder how close this competition would be. But it's certainly given me an idea for some challenges to do here, because of course we have been doing the challenge series, let's say, starting at the back of the grid or trying to lap every single rider in Assen, doing a ride-through penalty in the Red Bull Ring of Austria, which was in yesterday's video. That's an excellent video, by the way. I do recommend you watch that after the conclusion of this one if you haven't seen it already. Halfway through that video, towards the end, I started to call that video the best video I have ever made. So I definitely recommend you go and check it out. But of course, if you are still enjoying the content and you do watch the rest of the races, I hope you've subscribed. If you haven't done so, now's a great time to do so, because we are leading by 1.5 seconds. And of course, it does help my channel grow and it keeps you inundated with motorcycle content. So definitely get subscribed if you enjoy my voice and the content. So, 0.2 of a second in the negative for the Delta. So I don't know if I will be able to improve the lap time here, but I do feel turn 7, turn 8, turn 9, I think I can find a bit more time. I've messed it up now into turn 5, however, so that's cost us time. But 0.3 of a second is the difference. Ooh, that's tight to the apex. I could feel that going in. I was wondering if that was the right decision, as Fabio Quartararo has moved up to 3rd place, so fair play to the man on board the Yamaha, fair play to the teammate. So we're now 0.3 of a second negative in the Delta, so this lap time will not be an improvement with the medium combination of tyres. Ooh, steady. Even with power setting 1 there, the bike wanting to get a little bit of a wheelie. But now onto the brakes and into turn 12. A little bit sluggish going into the final corner. Bit of a wheelie yet again. And there is your championship standings. Jack Miller getting 0 points for him, nil points. And Marquez 5 with Enea Bastianini just picking up 3 championship points. Marquez could definitely feature second if Enea's not careful. I guess we'll see what's going to happen in the final 3 Grand Prix yet to come. We'll have the Sepang International Circuit of Malaysia, then we'll move over to Qatar, and then we will end our MotoGP career mode, and quite possibly the last one, because I really don't know how much time I'm going to have to get another championship done, or another career mode. I don't think I'm going to have enough time, not since MotoGP 24 is, what, almost 2 weeks away. Probably less than 2 weeks now when you're watching this video. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. But we're going to figure out something. And we're going to get plenty of content growing on this channel in preparation. All ready for MotoGP 24. I cannot wait. I was unfortunate not to get my hands on the preview. So I'll have to be patient, get my hands on it, and work absolutely mad to make sure I get the videos done for release day and everything else. So stay tuned for a lot more. But guys and girls, we are now 4.5 seconds clear from the rest of the competition. This is going to be yet again another victory in stunning fashion. Another stellar masterpiece. We get a big wheelie for the aces. I'm getting a bit more practice at them, aren't I? So there you are then, guys. Confirmation on your screens right now. Interesting battle there for third place, the final spot on the rostrum. Just separated by a 10th as all things came to a conclusion. Very interesting stuff for third place. But let's take a look at the championship standings. This is the one I'm curious to see. As you can see, the top 9 points positions there for Johan Zarco from the bottom there to Alex Rins. There's not going to be any surprises. But the championship standings has pushed Fabio up to 7th, but nothing particularly amazing or any particular changes on that sheet right now. So here we go then, round 17 from the back of the grid, still using power setting 1 against the 120% artificial intelligence difficulty. Let's see how this one fares. Oh, Taka giving me a little bit of a nudge. Was that a helping hand from the Japanese as we really get caught up there? A lot of riders bumping into each other. Paul Espargaro especially was leaning on Alex Rins temporarily there, but we should have the bravery, have the gall to get through on multiple riders here. Oh, goodness me. Just last second there decided to sneak up on the inside of Miguel Oliveira as we give our teammate another nudge into that right-hander. I think we had it earlier in turn 1, and this time it's in turn 3 there, but now into turn 4. We'll keep an eye on the Ducati on the left there, because does he want to go for the lunge or not? I guess not, so I'll go round the outside of not 1, but 2. Do I make it stick? I guess not. Alex Marquez came out on top of that particular exchange. But here goes the dreaded right-hander of turn 8. Riders still on the bike, still on the track. Turn 9. Wow, Miller went really wide. Oh, he's gone down again. If I'm not mistaken, that's the exact same crash he did in the sprint this season and even in the race last season. That's unbelievable. I can't believe he made such a mess going into those right-handers there. I mean, he is fighting for a championship, or at least some solid positions in the championship, and yet his biggest challenger right now, who's ahead of him, is going to be earning himself 20 points, and that is in the form of the 8-times world champion Marc Marquez, right there in second place. Good to see Luca Marini back up there again. Also victorious in Bud International Circuit, where I binned it. As we now have a bit of a race on our hands. I'm looking forward to this. It's been a while since I've been challenged in MotoGP. Of course, we had the challenge of trying to lap every single rider, also trying to do the ride-through penalty. But I want to have a good old ding-dong on the track, like we used to do last season. Getting rather tame, these races at the moment, and I want to make sure we can fight once again as I tried to get that cutback on Marquez. Didn't quite work, but I think I can put it underneath him here on the right-hander. Okay, missed opportunity there, but maybe the next one. Oh, just missed a gear there, my mistake. As we now go into the right-hander. Well, looks like he's opened the door for me. Marquez, what a gentleman. Oh, and Maverick Vinales, oh please, I'm not royalty. You don't have to keep opening the door for me. Thank you very much. He shuts the door. He says, okay then, fair enough. You're not coming in. I didn't see your ID. Anyway, we're up on the inside of Maverick. We didn't need an invitation last time, and we don't need one now. Through on Maverick, up into second place. May I remind you, we did start at the back of the grid with power setting 1 on the hardest difficulty AI in the game. Magnificent. We are charging. Lap 3 could be the ultimate manoeuvre that possibly couldn't be smoother to take over the victory here in the Chang International Circuit. turn 3. Not beckoning overtake yet. Luca Marini's got a bit more drive than I thought. Fair play to the man on board the GP22. He's pulled a good couple of tenths of a second away from us now, but into the wonderful left-hander of turn 4. I accidentally called this corner turn 5 earlier on, if you were listening. I think even turn 7 as well, as I made a mistake. Not my race today, apparently, in the terms of the commentary booth. But here's Marini. The number 10 is still holding on. I really hope he doesn't just bottle it into turn 7 and 8, turn 8 and 9. Here it is. The first part, he has sort of messed it up. And then to turn 9, bit of contact, steady on. Maro actually got a little bit of a helping hand there. We kept him on the track. He was going to go way wide if he wasn't careful there, but look at this change direction. I think I'm calling for it. Corner pocket, they'll say in snooker, but for me, I'm going corner to corner through into turn 12. Advantage goes the man on board. The GP23 set the fastest lap of the race. One overtake, cleanly done. Has Luca got anything back for us now? It doesn't look like it. We're pulling out the tenths already. We're on power setting 1, Luca. Come on, sunshine. You've got all that power with you, all those tyre wear that you don't even use in this game. Come on, Luca, fight back. I'm rooting for you, mate. Come on. I'm rooting for any of them to actually give us a bit of a challenge. Oh, here he comes. Luca listened. Go on, Luca, for turn 4. Oh, it's not going to happen. Come on. I don't want to just completely let off the throttle, but I would like to keep it fun. I'm trying everything. I'm in power setting 1, for goodness sake. Come on, Maro. You can do it. He's still there, though. Got to give him credit. 120% difficulty AI doing what they can to stay with your content creator. 1/10 of a second lost for Maro. 7/10 of a second. Where's he gone? 1.5 is the gap now. Where has he gone? Somebody find that gentleman a map. He did not get the memo for the track guide, did he? Did I ever do a track guide here? Probably not. Maybe that's why the issue is arisen, or has arisen, should I say. There was green flags out there, so someone probably went down somewhere. I don't suspect it was Luca. I think he just made an absolute dog's dinner of turn 8 and 9. He absolutely blew it. Well, I wanted to keep this close, but I guess now, let's just go for the fastest laps. Let's go full send now, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need to worry about fuel. We're just going to stay on power setting 1 regardless. But I do feel now we got to get back into 127s. We did in the sprint, and there's no reason we can't do it now. Great consistent pace nonetheless, but I would like to see the 127s make an appearance once again. But I've got to say, as I've said this numerous times this season, getting a bit much like a broken record now, I love this bike. The way this bike feels in career mode is second to none. Oh, hearts in mouths ever so briefly there. I didn't even bother to try and make the corner then. I think I pushed a little bit too hard onto that apex. I mentioned it in the sprint. It's very easy to do there. You turn in too early, get onto the curb and your bike wants to just sit up. Yeah, that was a little bit scary. But out of the penultimate corner and late on the brakes, the Alpine Stars boot just kissing the tarmac ever so slightly. And now out of the final corner. Another green flag out, so someone else has gone down. This is definitely an idea for lapping some riders, or there's definitely a challenge to be had here. I don't know what the difference will be between power setting 1 and 2, but I do feel that we could probably find some good ground on the AI with power setting 2. I know even in the MotoGP race last season in the career mode, we were still good enough with power setting 2 to dominate this race. I think even Enea Bastianini crashed out here as well, which kept the championship rather interesting. Of course, no danger of that happening here. Even if Enea does crash, it doesn't do anything for the championship. Even if I crash, it doesn't do anything for the championship. 250 points ahead. Of course, you can read. You can see that at the bottom right corner of your screen. 251 as it stands. My goal is to get 300 points more than him. Surely there's never been a victor by 300 points. Impossible, surely. I mean, there's no way. I mean, the riders would have to crash every single race back in the day, and then one rider would have to win everything. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, to be fair, there's probably a huge gap to the likes of Antonio Taka and Augusto Fernandez. Well, in fact, I think Taka got a point last time out, didn't he? It's just Augusto Fernandez who is yet to acquire a point. That's way too late on the break, surely. I tell you what, I felt like I'd done that way too late, but that felt really good. Okay, new ability found then. Braking late into turn 12. That felt really late. I actually panicked a bit there. I hit the brakes a little bit harder than I usually do. Oh, steady. Looking a bit like Brad Binder into the Niki Lauda curve in my last video. Very, very cautious going into turn 1 from now on. But with a medium front and rear, I gotta say, I thought picking this combination would make it a little bit more interesting, because I think the tyre wear on those mediums will begin to drop. But at the same time, using power setting 1 doesn't really allow me to overheat the tyres, because the rear tyre doesn't spin very much. So it's not like I can actually get the tyres to burn. I'm using the rear brake a lot, I guess, but there's the rider standing on the right hand side of your screen. As you see, Jack Miller, no points again. That's bad. 23 points behind Marquez now. That's difficult with just 3 rounds to go. He's going to have to come up with a miracle to get back up to Marquez now, because that Repsol Honda's right up there in the terms of teams comparison. So, I don't know. Can he do it? The KTM's well up there on the comparative. There's no reason he shouldn't be up there. He has been doing so well this season. We denied him for a couple of victories, of course, but just not getting the job done in this one, is he? A bit late into turn 12 and onto the power once again. Little wheelie across the line. Our worst lap time yet. Ooh. Is this panic stations? Is Luca Marini going to pull back 5 seconds in 6 laps? I don't think so. I'll be very impressed, but I can't see it happening. I really can't. So onto the brakes then. Don't forget to like the video as well, boys and girls, if you do enjoy the video. We now got, oh, nicely done there into turn 3. Green in the Delta, that's what I was looking for. Yes. We have found a 10th. Can we find more? I think we might. Oh, I was a little bit nervous into turn 4. Then I was too busy looking at the Delta, but I think it paid off. So we go into that rear tyre sliding there. Trying to kick it out a little bit. That's that Sam Lowe's style. Not really my preferred style. I can do it. I can hear apologies, I could hear the beeping and buzzing of someone crashing out, but I don't see anyone on that left-hand side of the screen. I completely missed that. I don't know who it was who's gone down, but someone has. I think that top 8's still very much the same. I completely missed that. Apologies, guys. I did not see that at all. Not in the nature of those corners. But anyway, onto the brakes. That's late. It feels late every time, but I think I'll get it stopped if I go a little bit hard on the brakes. Ooh, 128.001. Close. But no cigar yet. Can we get 2,000th of a second to find ourselves into the 127s? I don't see why not. I really don't see why not. We are fast. We're consistent, relatively. We've, of course, found out ourselves not really lapping very consistently in the sense of similar lap times, but if you extend the margin, we're within 6 tenths of a second every lap. So yeah, I guess it's not too bad. I just feel like we should have been a little bit closer without a couple of minor mistakes in this race. That's deep into turn 5. That will cost us time. Not significant amount of time. I don't think we did very well there on the last lap either. Trying not to overthink turn 7 now after hitting the apex earlier on. Brake right there at the shadow for turn 8. And onto the power. We go into the right hand side. So now I think about it, of course, I need to ask you guys a question. I'll be doing a poll about this at some point, but I would like to know what race length, what race distances do you want to see in MotoGP 24's career mode? Now, at the moment, I have 50% races, so it's 50% sprint and 50% race. So let me know in the comment section down below in this video, or alternatively wait until you get the poll, and then I can decide from there. I personally really like the longer style races. The 50% races are brilliant. Gets a little bit harder to do, of course, when you're just dominating the race, but I enjoy that as the racing side, and I enjoy the commentary anyway, so let me know. I would like to entertain the idea of doing 100% races, but I think with the amount of time I've got to record MotoGP videos and stuff, that could take a long time, and I don't know if I can do that. We'll see though. I'll have to see how well my voice carries over for such a long recording session, but I guess we'll see. I mean, this one being 50-50 is basically a full race anyway, but with the sprint and then the full race. So we'd have to decide, and we'll figure it out together. Ideally, I want to opt against doing shorter races, because I just don't think they're really that great. I mean, if you do like a 5-6 lap race, it's fun, but some of those races you just feel I needed more laps to make it more interesting and to build. You know, sometimes you're doing an overtake that takes 6 or 7 corners to get right. You can't just lunge at them the first time you see them, for example. You've got to build upon that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm thinking more towards keeping the status quo, 50% races. Maybe for the Moto 3 we either increase or decrease, I don't know. I really like the Moto 3 races, but I do appreciate a lot of people only care for the big premier class motorcycles, so we'll see. But definitely let me know in the comment section down below. Of course, it's you guys who watch these videos, and that's the most important part, not me playing the game and me doing the commentary. So of course, let me know, let your feelings be heard, and I'll take a look and we'll see what we can do together. But out of turn 3, let's quickly take a look at the top 8 in this race so far. Of course, we have ourselves miles ahead of the competition. Luca Marini still very much occupying second place, but cast your gaze to the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, to the map going into turn 4. I shouldn't have done that too, because I've gone wide. But anyway, look behind us, and there's 2 riders very much glued on track. Maverick Vinales might be having a lunge at Luca Marini here. Behind him, there's definitely a battle arising, because you see Bastianini, Marquez and Bezzecchi all very much close together, and I wouldn't bet against Fabio Quartararo. No, actually I'm wrong. It's Bastianini and Marquez, and then behind them I think it's going to be Bez on his own, with Fabio Quartararo fighting the good fight for Yamaha, trying to hold on to that 7th place. That looks like a fun battle to be in, it really does. But across the line, we will start our penultimate lap time here in the Chang International Circuit. And we set our worst lap time there. Got too distracted looking at the battles behind, rather than focusing on the Grand Prix ahead of us. So here we go then. One more lap after this one to secure our place as a dominant victor here in the wonderful, I was going to call it Mandalika there, apologies, here in Thailand. Brilliant track, brilliant fans, with brilliant riders such as Somkiat Chantra. I'm ready to take a victory here again. I blew it in my first season here, didn't I? I took the gamble of staying out on the slick tyres in the wet, blew the race, and then from there, of course, dominating the race last season as teammate, rival, championship contender, Enea Bastianini crashed out. This is it. The medium tyre is beginning to go off now, I can feel it, so I don't think I'll be improving, and those lap times are beginning to struggle. Could possibly drop into the 129s here if I'm not careful. Let's hope we don't, but I think it's going to happen. As that gap has come down to 7. Well, never mind, it was misleading. It was certainly coming down, but it's gone back up to 7.5 seconds. So this is it. One more corner to go, and then it's the final lap here in the Chang International Circuit. Across the line, it is one more exchange of the Thailand circuit here in Buriram. Onto the power then. We found a bit of time in that first split. Can we... Oh, look at that. Miller's lost out on 4th place in the championship. And Maverick has now got the 3rd place. Oh, he still had 3rd place. He was fighting for 2nd, wasn't he? If he gets past, that's even more pain inflicted to the KTM man. What can he do? Jack Miller, he's got to bounce back in the next Grand Prix, hasn't he? He's got 3 more rounds to fight back and get onto the podium positions to end the season. I don't think he's going to do it. I really don't. I hope he does. But can he? Well, I guess we'll find out together. Oh, I'm really struggling now to get the bike stopped into turn 5. But into the left-hander. This is the last time we'll be doing Buriram for a while, I fear. Unless I do another challenge here. Maybe I will. I'm keen on the idea of coming back to some of the circuits that I don't give enough attention to. But here it is. Just 3 more corners to go. Marini holds on for second. Love to see how close that battle's going to be when we cross the line. Bastianini's still battling it out with Marquez for 4th. But who cares? It's us at the top of the pile once again. Ladies and gentlemen, into the final corner and out of the final corner. It's another 25 points. It's another victory on board the factory Ducati. So confirmation on your screens right now. That was a close battle between Marini and Maverick Vinales. Marquez got the best of Bastianini. And Taka in the points again. Good on you, Taka Sunbeam. Good on you, lad. Marvellous. Yeah, look at Jack Miller dropping out of 4th place in the championship. He's now 40 points behind. That's going to be tough to catch back. It really is. Oh, Taka got points here. I thought he got points in Phillip Island. Oh, Taka. He's done it. Amazing. Just need Augusto Fernandez to get a point now. But anyway, thanks for watching, boys and girls. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.